Texas Rangers, Baltimore Orioles, ALDS, noon tomorrow Central Time. Predictions, news, starting pitchers, all that and more next here on the Texas Rangers Club. Hey everybody, my name is Jeff Bates. This is the Texas Rangers Clubhouse, where we talk about playoff baseball. Our Texas Rangers are in the playoffs and they're playing Baltimore, the number one seed in the AL. This has been this round expectation I've been having for quite some time. Baltimore was clearly going to win the East. They surpassed Tampa Bay a while ago and they weren't going to give it back. I thought we were the best team outside of the AL East. I expected this. I did. Did not know who would be in the other bracket. Did not know if this would be the ALDS or the ALCS, but this is an expectation I had and many people had. Somebody's got to get through these two teams to get to the World Series. I think the winner of this series goes on and wins the AL, but that's for another video. We had a big question mark on who was going to start today. It seemed pretty clear that it was going to be Dane Dunning, but it ain't. Andrew Heaney has been announced as the starter for the Texas Rangers, which is interesting because the Baltimore Orioles have a better winning percentage by quite a bit. Evan Grant tweeted out a bunch of stuff I'm going to talk about today. Quite a bit better against left-handed starters. And the backup to Heaney is probably going to be Perez, another lefty. So what does that mean? Well, I'm not really sure. Maybe they're trying to get Dunning a little more rest, but I kind of like it. I got to be honest with you. First of all, Haney's been pitching great. Second of all, Perez has been pitching great. And I think having Dunning for Game 3 makes a lot of sense, especially, well, regardless. No matter what happens with Max, we've got Heaney today, we've got Monty Game 2, and then I don't know what we got Game 3, but is it Dunning? Is it Max? What's the situation with John Gray? And really, how many innings do we need to get through in our bullpen to get to Game, 2 and 3? The national media's been saying it for a long time. I've been saying it for a while. Bruce Bochy is the best, maybe ever, certainly in my lifetime, in managing his bullpen. Now, a lot of people have been given negativity towards his handling of the bullpen on Twitter and other places, but that's just because our bullpen's been so bad. Bochy's still the master at this. So I like what he's doing. I trust in Bruce Bochy. Be interesting to see what happens. Heaney has looked phenomenal the last few times out. The matchup of Heaney and Perez together, what does that get us through? The 6th, 7th, 8th inning? I like it. I like it a lot. We'll see how it works out, but I'm a fan of it. Now, as I've already mentioned, Max Scherzer threw a little bit. I guess the word was a handful. Again, I already mentioned Evan Grant. You should be following him on Twitter. My gosh, it's the best place for Texas Rangers news by far. Evan Grant's Twitter handle, feed, stream, whatever it's called. And I got to see a couple. I guess he posted a picture or two of Max throwing. We also learned that Monty, John Montgomery, threw today. And so that was clear that he wasn't going to be the game win starter. So, I mean, if you're not following Evan Grant, you're not a real super duper Ranger fan like, probably you are if you're on my channel. So Dunning will probably pitch Game 3, but we'll find out. For the Baltimore Orioles, we got Bradish Game 1, and then we got Grayson Rodriguez Game 2. So Bradish has had a really good year. Grayson's had a really good year. We actually thumped Grayson Rodriguez pretty good in his first start of his career, so much so that they sent him back to the minors, but since then he's come back, and he's been really, really good. So the Orioles pitching is excellent. Now, their bullpen has been excellent too, but their big stud, Felix Bautista, is gone. I think he's gone. I think he's got surgery. I think he's even gone for next year. Regardless, he won't be in the bullpen against us, but they still have a pretty good bullpen. Now, they don't have a great middle innings. They have a great end, and they have some good starters, which is kind of like us too. I like the back of ours. Spores has been real good since he's come back from his injury. Obviously, Chapman can be elite and can be terrifying. And then Leclerc has been real good in the back. I would say the Orioles are pretty much the same. Really good in the back end, not so good in the middle. But for me, it's going to come down to one thing and one thing only, and this is why I'm going to pick us to win. I'll get to my prediction here in a minute. Our offense. I think the key to the offense, and this is really good news for us, is Marcus Semien. Why do I say that? The ball flies out of right field there in Camden Yards in Baltimore, right? And Corey Seager can make the ball fly out of right field if the Grand Canyon was the field. So if Semien has a good series, if Evan Carter has a good series, and boy, these two are on fire right now, you can't walk Corey Seager. And that means he can do some damage. And if that happens, I think we roll. If Evan Carter is above average, if Semien is Semien, I don't think you can stop Corey Seager. I also think Odalis opposite field power is going to come into play for us. And I also think Josh Young looks like he's getting hot. I like his left or right center gap power. The ball flies to right in Camden. I really like how it looks for us. Also, I will say this, Baltimore Orioles seem to pound outside to righties quite a bit. It's how what I've seen of them, it looks like that's how they pitch. Maybe that's just the small sample size that I've seen, but I think it bodes really well for us. I think we're going to win the series. I think we're going to win the series in 4. I think that Seager has a big series. I think they're crazy to pitch to him, but I already told you, I think Evan Carter's going to do well and Semien's going to do well, so Seager's going to get his chance. But I think the MVP is going to be Odalis. I really do. I think he's going to have a real good series. Not that they give out an MVP for this, but that's my prediction. I'm excited about that. Speaking of Garcia, Hank Aaron MVP finalists are out, and we have 3 of them. The only team in the American League to get 3 of them, Odalis Garcia is one of them, Corey Seager is one of them, Marcus Semien is one of them, which brings me to when we have the home games, we need to be having the chance of MVP every time Corey Seager comes to bat, every time he touches the ball. Man, I know Ohtani had a great year, but we need to be chanting MVP, MVP, MVP whenever Corey gets anywhere near the ball. Last but not least, where are you watching the game tomorrow? Are you going to be at Texas Live? The game is at noon our time. Wow. Early game. Texas Live is the place to be. First 2 games will be in Baltimore. I watched game 1 of the last series at Texas Live, and it was a blast. It wasn't even that packed. I mean, we had enough fans there. It was a lot of fun, but it wasn't packed. I was surprised by that. We're getting later into the playoffs, and I suspect it'll be packed when it's closer to the weekends, tomorrow being a weekend, and obviously the deeper you get into the playoffs. But I think that's going to be the place to be tomorrow. Where are you watching the game? I actually have no tickets to the playoffs yet because I've got a family vacation plan. So we'll see. They're going to have to go even deeper in the playoffs for me to go to a home playoff game. Point is, let me know if you're going to a game. Let me know if you're going to Texas Live or if you're just watching it on the couch. And let me know your prediction. I'm going to take the Rangers in 4. I believe it. I'm excited about it. And I can't wait to see if we're right, who we get to play in the next round. But first things first, Andrew Heaney, the offense, and the Rangers tomorrow taking on Baltimore. I'm excited. 12 noon. Let's go. Thanks for watching. Have the best day ever. Go Rangers. Bye for now.